Johnny, where are you going? Into the field. You know you must not wander away. But I want to see the beautiful shining thing. What? The beautiful shining thing over the stile. You will catch it when Mum calls. Children? Children! Come on in now, will you? Here I am.
Oh, where's Johnny then?
Over there.
Where? Oh, what did you let him stray like that for? Can't I trust you for 2 minutes together? You're more trouble than you're worth. Johnny! Johnny! Come on this minute!
He's in the field, over the stile.
And struck dumb, I suppose, all of a sudden. Come on. Johnny! Johnny, come out, you little monkey, this minute.
He's playing a thing.
I'll play him when I see him. Johnny! Come on this minute, or you'll be sorry for it.
Well, perhaps he did climb over the edge and he's running about the meadow and has lost his way.
Well, we must find him then, mustn't we? Oh, dear, growing dark it is too. Johnny! Time to be done with playing now, Johnny Vark. Cakes and sweets at home for you?
Mum, look, there he is, lying under the edge, pretending to be asleep.
Oh, is he then? Come on now, Johnny. Do you think I've got no better things to do than run all over this field looking for you? Oh, here he is. And what do you think you're doing then? Huh? Lying there so still? Pretending to... Johnny? 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 Willie, run back, will you? For the doctor. Quickly!
I'm sorry, Mrs. Roberts. There is nothing I can do.
Oh, but how, Doctor? How? What can have happened to him in that empty field?
I don't know, Mrs. Roberts. I wish I did.
But you're a doctor.
He was asphyxiated. I don't know how.
Asphyxiated?
Suffocated. Willie, did Johnny say anything before he went into the field?
He wanted to see the shining thing.
What?
A beautiful shining thing, he said, over the stile.
Did you see it?
No.
Mrs. Roberts, did you?
Oh, no, Doctor, nothing, only... Oh, dear, he was so still, Doctor. So still, lying there under the hedge. There was a moth that settled on his forehead, see, and he was so still it never moved until I touched him. And then it flew away.
A beautiful, shining thing.
Oh, Doctor, it was the people.
There are no people, Mrs. Roberts. You know that.
Then what was it, Doctor? What was it that killed my boy?
I don't know.
Don't know? A child in the middle of a field dead and you don't know how? And you call yourself a doctor?
I must be going. Don't let Willie out of your sight, Mrs. Roberts. Take care of the one that is left to you. It's dreadful times that we're living in.
Is it the dreadful times that killed my Johnny? Is that all you can say to me? Dreadful times? All you can tell me? Is it, Doctor?
What does she mean by the people?
The Celtic fairies. They're still feared in these parts.
Well, perhaps she's right.
Great God, man, this is the year of our Lord 1915. Centuries of logic and science, and they still think it's the fairies that kill their children.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you'd taken it so hard.
How do you expect me to take it? A perfectly healthy child, dead, no mark at him, and I a doctor, and all I can tell his mother is that I don't know how he died.
No mark on him at all?
None. It was as if someone had put a pillow over his face and held it there.
Well, could some madman...
No, I asked. No strangers seen at all. You think I make too much of it, don't you?
No, Lewis, I understand.
Do you? Right, here we are. Up you get. Right. Come on, girl. Hup. You've just come from London, Secretary. You stepped off the train 10 minutes ago, and now I am driving you to Trefloyne Farm, because you are my good friend, and it is no trouble to me. And I could wish you were staying at my home, but I can understand why you chose to go to Trefloyne this year. Marion is a quiet village, but Trefloyne is even quieter. Nothing to hear but the wind in the trees. Nothing to see but the hills and the marshes. Nothing to do for you but paint and enjoy the peace which you need, I know. Have you come to this quiet place from a world where thousands die every day in the trenches, slaughtered like cattle? And here am I making a great song over some child dead in a field. But I knew that child, Secretan.
Yes, I know.
And he's not the first to die here. And no one knows the reason. There have been other deaths this year, Secretan. Too many.
An epidemic, you mean?
No, accidental. At least, they must be accidental. There was another child, disappeared. Went to pick flowers on the cliffs and never returned. And a farm labourer went over, walking home.
Drunk, perhaps.
Teetotaler.
It's easy to slip on those cliff paths.
There was a woman, too, and she can't have slipped because she fell in the quarry at Lanfihangle. You know it? That thick hedge of furze bushes all around it. She must have pushed her way through that. And there was a dead sheep beside her body at the bottom, as if they'd both been chased over the edge.
Chased by what?
2 men died in the marsh, face down in the slime, 10 yards from the path, as if they'd left it and laid down to die.
Suicide?
Both of them?
I think there's a kind of madness in all the world.
They call it war.
A friend of mine, a pilot named Harry, you knew that they wouldn't accept me, didn't you?
Yes, I knew.
Well, I am an artist after all. I suppose one day there'll be time for such things again. Anyway, Harry was seeing one of his mates off to France. A normal, perfectly ordinary flight. Harry watched him reach a good height, and he was just turning away to get a cup of tea when someone called out, and he looked back, and he saw a cloud approaching. A great black cloud. At least he thought it a cloud. And then it altered its shape into a great crescent, and wheeled and veered as if it was looking for something. And then he realized what it was. Birds, Lewis. Thousands of them. And then the 2 arms of the crescent drew in, quick as lightning, and those thousands of birds shot in a solid mass right across the sky and across the path of the plane.
What happened to it?
It dropped, dead, out of that cloud of birds. The propeller blades were all broken and covered with blood and feathers, and the carcasses of the birds had got wedged in between the blades and were sticking to them.
Whoa, girl. Easy there.
What frightened her?
I don't know. It's too dark to see. Yes. Over there.
Where? What's happened?
It's Ewan Williams.
Is he hurt?
He's dead. Shine the lamp quickly.
Lewis?
What?
Lewis, there's a child here by the hedge. And a woman. And oh, God, another child. Take the lamp. I don't want to see.
The whole family. All of them. Their heads are beaten to a pulp.
A maniac. A rural Jack the Ripper.
The method is rather different.
The method is immaterial. No sane man would commit crimes like that. Have you ever read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Yes, Remnant, I have.
It's a remarkable theory, isn't it?
Remarkable.
Has it occurred to you that any one of us may be the murderer?
I can't say it has.
Without the faintest notion of the fact, of course. Take Llewellyn here.
What?
You're a lawyer. You're aware of the importance of evidence, I presume?
I would hope so.
Then can you produce evidence to show where you were at the time of the murder? I thought not. Now, I say it is perfectly possible that Llewellyn here may be dealing death throughout Marion. Although in his present personality, let us call it Llewellyn A, he may not have the slightest suspicion that there is another Llewellyn within him, Llewellyn B, if you like, who follows murder as a fine art. Well, what have you to say to that?
If you had allowed me to speak, I would have told you that last night I was staying at the Angel Hotel, Cardiff. I had business in Cardiff, and I was detained there until this afternoon.
Oh, my dear Llewellyn...
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening.
Oh. Well, it's a theory, though, isn't it? A tenable theory.
Well, another bloody day over.
Yeah, and another one tomorrow.
Look, count your blessings.
What? Wasting our time in this dump when we could be at the front?
At least we're dry here. Even if we are under canvas. And alive.
And bloody bored. Who wants to be stuck in a camp in Wales?
There's a lot would give a lot to be bloody bored, and don't forget it. My cousin was on leave last month, and he was saying that...
Saying what?
You hear anything?
What?
Listen. Shells, do you think?
What, here?
Can't be the Germans, can it?
It's bloody horses.
Horses, yeah. They're coming over the hill, look. Run for it. Run like hell.
I can't find a light.
Oh, never mind
I
the
can't
light.
see things.
Get the hell out of here. For God's sake, Bert.
Oh, where is... I can't find it. I can't find the light.
Yeah! Bert! Bert! Where are you? Kids, come down on me!
Bert? 2 dead, they say, and God knows how many wounded.
You say that horses did it?
Oh, yes. They were found next morning grazing quite peacefully. No one would have believed it but for the blood on their hooves. The farmer says they're as quiet a lot as any in Marion. He can make nothing of it. Indeed, he says they must have seen the devil himself to be in such a fright as that.
Frightened of what?
Why ask that when we have a maniac in our midst?
You're Jack the Ripper, you mean,
Yeah.
who killed the Williamses?
And pushes people over cliffs and drowns them in marshes.
But this business...
Well, he could have loosed those horses.
Well, do you know what I find so frightening? There's been nothing in the papers.
No, I noticed that.
As if none of these horrors had ever happened.
Now, there was a report on one in the Milos Observer. The woman who died in the quarry, that she had been found dead under mysterious circumstances.
Do we get that paper here? I haven't seen it.
No one has since the report.
You mean the whole newspaper suppressed?
It would appear so. Well, there is a war on.
They're very clever people, of course.
Who?
The Hun.
Are you asking us to believe that the Germans are here in Marion pushing people over cliffs?
They were beaten on the Marne, weren't they? But they had their trenches on the Aisne ready to fall back on. Now, you can't tell me that wasn't prepared in advance. Years ago, man, before the war even started. And that's when they worked out this plan.
What plan?
To demoralize us. To frighten us out of our wits. Well, I'll be off. I don't fancy walking home too late these days. Night, gentlemen.
Remarkable man, that.
Yes. He was asked whether he knew something, and his reply really amounted to, "No, I don't." But I've never heard it better put.
Well, we'll know the answer soon.
How?
This is a law-abiding country, Secretan. Even if we're at war, there'll be inquests on those killings. And then we'll know the truth.
Members of the jury, before we commence these proceedings, I have to tell you that your business will be to hear the medical evidence and to bring in a verdict immediately in accordance with that evidence.
Sir, is that to mean that we hear nothing but the medical evidence? Nothing as to what might have
Only
been
the
before?
medical evidence.
Sir, I do not think that can be right.
Those are my instructions to the jury.
Then, sir, we do not think we can properly reach...
Then I beg to inform you, Mr. Foreman, and gentlemen of the jury, that under the Defence of the Realm Act, I have power to supersede your functions and to enter a verdict according to the evidence which has been laid before the court, as if it had been the verdict of you all.
Then we don't have much choice, do we, sir?
No choice at all, Mr. Foreman.
You see the link, of course, between all this and what's been happening in the last month.
All this?
Well, the horses gone crazy and those dogs turning savage and attacking children. That poor child who was stung to death by bees.
Great burning man, what are you talking about? The Williamses weren't stung by bees or worried by a dog, and horses don't throw people over cliffs or stifle them in marshes.
No, but it is evident to me that in all these cases of animals turning suddenly savage, the cause has been terror. They were exposed to an infection of fear, and a frightened bird or beast or insect uses its weapons, whatever they may be.
Granted.
Now, I would like to tell you about what I have called, provisionally, the Z-ray. Lewis, are you listening?
Yes, Rem.
They are sending suggestions, which amount to irresistible commands, over here. And the persons affected are seized with suicidal or homicidal mania. The people who fell over the cliffs, or into the quarry, or the marsh, committed suicide. As for the Williamses, that, of course, was murder.
By whom?
Thomas Evans. You remember Evans said he passed the cottage earlier? In my opinion, he was the murderer. He came under the influence of the ray, became a homicidal maniac in an instant, snatched William's spade from his hand, and killed him and the others.
Why should the ray affect one and not the other?
Why does one man react violently to a certain drug, while it makes no impression on another?
It's a question of idiosyncrasy.
Is that Greek for I don't know? Lewis?
Be quiet a moment.
What is it?
Don't you hear?
An airship, perhaps?
No. And Secretan, look at the trees.
What is it? What's the matter?
Quickly. Nothing, Remnant. Nothing.
Lewis, what did you see earlier when Remnant was here?
You saw nothing outside? Nothing unusual?
No. Why?
Well, they aren't your trees, of course.
Trees?
Out there. Secretan, I'm not drunk.
Indeed not.
A little wine with my dinner, half a glass of port, or delirious. My temperature is perfectly normal, so what happens when you see a two-sided triangle?
Lewis, what did you see?
Look. Do you see that tree against the stars, that tall pine?
Yes, why?
That's all it is now, a tall pine. But an hour ago, when Remnant was here, it wasn't. It had changed.
Changed?
Grown, since the sun went down, to a great dark cloud against the sky. And there was movement in it. No breeze tonight, is there?
No breeze at all.
You might hold up a lighted match and watch it burn without any wavering of the flame. But that tree had movement and sound, as if a great organ were trembling in an empty church. You heard it.
Yes, but...
And light. You know how a piece of burnt paper will sometimes hang over the coals before it goes up the chimney, and little worms of fire shoot through it? It was like that. Just threads and hairs of yellow light I saw, and specks and sparks of fire, and then a twinkling of a ruby, no bigger than a pinpoint, and a green wandering in the black as if an emerald were crawling. And I said to myself, woe is me, I said, what is all this colour and burning?
But there's nothing there now.
No. There is one thing to be grateful for. Remnant didn't see it.
I'm not up to the mark, Lewis, and that's a fact.
You'll be fine in no time.
Things are not going well at Middlingham.
Oh, I thought you weren't looking up to your usual form when I saw you. But 3 weeks of Marinair will do wonders.
I hope so. I hope so.
Business is all right, isn't it?
Oh, yes, business is all right. Business is very much all right. But there are other things that are all wrong.
What other things, Merritt?
Well, I can tell you now, I suppose. I didn't dare write it.
Take a seat, Merritt.
Oh, thank you. Lewis, do you ever wonder about what's happening in France?
Of course. We all do.
Or rather, what is not happening in France?
Well, the front seems quiet, yes.
Oh, too quiet, Lewis. For too long. Remember Neuve-Chapelle? Remember Loos? How excited we were at those victories? And since then, what?
Well, perhaps Joffre has a plan.
To immobilise the forces? To sit there in their trenches and let the Hun overrun them?
Well, I'm sure they will.
You need 2 things to win a war, Lewis. Men and ammunitions. The men we have. But if the ammunition isn't getting through...
Go on.
Do you know that at every one of the munitions works in Middlingham there's a guard of soldiers with drawn bayonets and loaded rifles day and night? Men with bombs, too, and machine guns at the big factories?
German spies?
You don't want guns to fight spies with, nor bombs, nor a platoon of men. I woke up last night. It was a machine gun at Bennington's Army Motor Works, firing like fury, and then bang, 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 hand bombs.
But what against?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what is happening. There is terror, Lewis. And the worst part of it is we don't know what.
You mean general nervousness, a vague sort of apprehension?
Oh, there's that, and there's more. People have gone out that have not come back. One man took a short cut from the station at night. They found him on his back, in the middle of a field, dead. The doctor said he'd been suffocated. Nobody knows how. And there's a queer story going about when the door's shut and the curtains drawn, about a man who walked along an old footpath. Part of the way, this path goes by a pretty large wood, most of it thick undergrowth. I can tell you it's a black place of nights. Well, he got along all right till he came to the wood. And then he said his heart dropped out of his body. Thousands of men were in that wood, he swears to it. It was full of rustling and the pattering of feet trying to go dainty, and the crack of dead boughs as somebody trod on them, and swishing of the grass, and some sort of chattering speech going on that sounded, so he said, as if the dead sat in their bones and talked.
There's something rather alarming about any wood at night.
People say...
Say what?
People say that the Germans have landed, and that they are hiding in underground places all over the country.
What do you think yourself, Merritt?
Oh, I don't know what to think. You can't get over the facts. There are soldiers with their rifles and their guns all over Stratfordshire, and those guns go off. I tell you, I've heard them. And who are the soldiers shouting at?
It's an extraordinary state of things.
Oh, it's more than extraordinary. It's an awful state of things. People say they've got a new kind of poison gas. Worse than anything they've used in France and what the authorities say.
The authorities? Do they admit there are Germans in hiding?
No, they call it explosions. But we know in the Midlands what an explosion sounds like and looks like. The people killed in these explosions are put in their coffins in the works, Lewis. Their own relations aren't allowed to see them.
The injuries
There was
can be...
one man who saw them, a working man who got into the place somehow after one of these explosions. And he saw the bodies before they screwed them down. And he saw their faces, as if they had been bitten to pieces. I heard of a man living in Dunwich who saw it.
The gas?
Like a black cloud, with sparks of fire in it floating over the tops of the trees.
Sparks of fire. Like a piece of burnt paper before it flies up the chimney.
Aye, sounded so. Why?
Nothing.
Oh, they must have prepared it years ago, long before the war started. So they bought land, and, God help us, Englishmen, to be the apparent owners. And secret excavations were made, and great caverns and underground cities in readiness to bleed England to the heart.
It's a terrible thought.
Oh, that's Henson's theory anyway. He's head of the Buckley Iron and Steel Syndicate. He's been a lot in Germany, you should know.
And one can believe anything of the Hun.
Well, thank God, there's nothing of that sort here.
No, indeed. You can't imagine that sort of thing in Marion, can you? So put it all out of your mind, Merritt. You need a rest, and we'll see you have it.
Careful! Mind your step there! Watch the path now!
What's happened? Can I help at all?
Thank you, sir, but we can manage. We'll take the poor soul into Porth and he'll be cared for there.
Cared for? But the man is dead.
Indeed, sir, it would seem so.
How?
Drowned, sir. Slipped into the marsh and drowned.
But it's perfectly safe. I've been over this place a dozen times.
Well, indeed, we did always think so,
If
sir.
you did slip by accident and fall into the water, it's not deep. It's easy enough to climb out again.
Terrible thing, sir, to be sure, and a sad pity. And not the sort of sight you've come to see in Marion this beautiful summer. So, don't you think, sir, that it would be more pleasant-like if you would leave us to this sad business of ours? I've heard many gentlemen staying here say that there's nothing to beat the view from the hill over there, not in the whole of Wales.
Merritt, mind if I join you?
Oh, no, Llewellyn. Sit down.
Beautiful spot, this.
I've always loved this cliff. I used to think when I retired I'd buy one of those farmhouses over there, live out the rest of my days looking at the sea.
You used to?
Llewellyn, what is happening here?
What do you mean?
The soldiers everywhere, turning you back from the cliff paths, very politely. But they have guns.
They're wise to be careful. There is a war on, you know.
Oh, I can understand them watching the sea. But inland? Do they think I'm a spy?
Well, they don't know you, do they? And we have a lot of visitors this time of year.
Yeah, I've just seen one of those visitors. Dead.
Oh?
I went to the marsh to look for wildflowers. Everything just as I remembered it. The reeds, the flags and rushes, the black cattle grazing nearby. And men were coming along the path, carrying a dead body. And when I asked how it could have happened, the sergeant moved me on. I've never heard it expressed so politely, but he moved me on.
Wisely, Merritt. You are on holiday. Enjoy it.
Oh, I did, at first. The first few days I could almost forget.
Forget what?
Nothing.
Look, do you see those porpoises?
Marvellous creatures, aren't they?
Well, why don't you take a boat out, like the lads down there? Do some fishing.
Oh, I loathe fish. How people can spoil such an afternoon trying to catch white, flabby, offensive, evil-smelling creatures that'll be excessively nasty when cooked. Llewellyn, look! On top of that cliff. Do you see that light? Somebody's signalling from that farmhouse.
Oh, surely not.
It's a message of some kind.
It's more like the sun flashing off the windows.
3 short flashes, 1 long one, 2 short flashes. Do you know anything of heliography?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
I'd better jot it down before... God!
What is it?
That fishing boat. With the boys in it. Llewellyn? Where is it? Lewis, it was murder.
In the middle of that empty bay.
A submarine.
It's too shallow,
Whoever
man.
was signalling from that farmhouse.
It was the sun, Merritt. Just the sun.
If you hear a shot and you see a man fall, you know pretty well what killed him.
See that moth? Can you tell me why moths rush into the flame like that? Look at it. What a way to kill yourself.
Lying face down in a marsh.
It was an accident.
All right. I can take a hint. Everyone is so polite in Marion, aren't they?
Merritt, you think too much about these things. You're making yourself ill.
It's happening here, isn't it? The terror? Then I'm going home, Lewis. I'd rather face it at home.
He went out to see to the beasts, Doctor, but he was gone too long, and I went to see what had happened. He wasn't in the field, not where the beasts were, and I called out, but there was no answer. I thought perhaps one of the oxen might have broken through the edge and strayed, and he'd perhaps gone after it, and there was that, and then there was something else that I could not make out at all. It seemed to me that the hedge did look different from usual, and I said to myself, have I lost my way then? Because it had a look as if it was lighted up somehow.
So I went on towards the stile to see what all this could be, and everything was as usual. And as I looked down the path, I saw some sort of brightness on the ground, a dim sort of light, like a bunch of glowworms in a hedge bank. And so I climbed over the stile and went down the path, and the light seemed to melt away. And there was my poor husband, on his back, saying not a word to me when I spoke to him and touched him.
I thought of Burke and Hare. It could have been their work, as if a pitch plaster had been clapped over the man's mouth and nostrils and held there.
But people don't just suffocate.
They do in Marion.
Not just in Marion.
What?
Well, it's all over the country, from what Merritt said. All over the world, perhaps. So it's no longer just your worry, is it? No one knows the answer.
I don't like mysteries, Secretan. Especially mysteries that kill my patients.
Well, I suppose it's selfish of me, but I'm glad to be out of it all.
At Trefloyne Farm, you mean?
The world could come to an end and you wouldn't know there. You think yourself isolated in London if the next house is 10 yards away. You could live a month at Trefloyne and never see another face. There's nothing in life there but sleeping and painting. If the world could drink that water, the whole world would turn teetotal.
And everything is normal there?
Yes, thank God. Oh, except for Tiger, I suppose.
Tiger?
Their dog.
Oh.
Not savage, nothing like that, but he was like a mad thing yesterday. Whimpering and running at us and barking and tearing at our clothes and running away and looking back as if to see if we were following him, away from the farm. He gave us no peace last night. They laughed at him at first, but they turned him out of doors in the end. And then he broke into a long howl of anguish, like a lost soul. And we haven't seen him since.
Well, he'll be back, I suppose, when he's hungry.
Well, I hope so. He's a good dog.
But who could have done such a thing?
It's those damn gypsies, I tell you.
But what would they do a thing like that for? It's too late now.
What's happening?
It's more likely that John Jenkins
What's the
has
time?
done. He said he would remember you. When
God,
we
it's
kept him
barely
watching.
dawn.
Well, I'm going out there. I'll get to the bottom of this.
Mind you, be careful now.
Get away from me. Get away from me.
What the hell?
It is no use, Mother. He is dead. They've killed him.
Let me go. I tell you, let me go to him.
Mrs. Griffiths, what's happened?
Oh.
Tell us.
They have killed him.
Who have? Killed who?
My father.
Where?
Outside. Out there.
But surely he needs help.
Don't go out there. But you can't. Look, man. Through the window. God. He had not got a dozen yards before they were on him.
I don't believe it.
We saw it, man.
No.
We saw it. Look at the man standing there waiting.
I'm going out there.
No.
Well, he might be only injured.
With that...
We can't leave him lying there.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Secretary, come back. Now do you believe it?
As if the hills were walking. It's as likely, isn't it? Or an apple falling upwards.
What shall we do, Mr. Secretary? What shall we do?
It can't last. It's some nightmare, some horror that'll pass. An hour or so, and we can go out, find help. An hour or so, that's all. Mrs. Griffiths, is there food in the house?
There is bacon and half the weekly baking, and some beer in the cellar, and a whole pitcher of water that we drew last night.
Water? Oh, yes, I forgot. The well.
Out there.
Yes, out there. Well, a pitcher will be enough for the three of us. For tonight. And by tomorrow morning, they will have gone. Thomas, how far's the nearest farm?
1.5 miles. Why?
Well, perhaps if we shouted loudly.
Oh, they would not hear. There are the hills between.
A passerby!
There is no road, man, only the track to this place.
Yes, and to think I loved it for its isolation. Thomas, we must shout. It's the second night and no water left. We must do something.
Oh, perhaps it might be heard on the high places, if someone was listening for it.
Well, let's hope someone's passing. It's still enough for the sound to travel. Look, the leaves of that tree are not even moving.
Huh? A tree?
Over there against the sky.
There is no tree there.
Yes, look. Strange.
What is?
There's light in it. Look, Thomas. Like a piece of burnt paper before it flies up the chimney. This is what Lewis saw. Listen.
Oh, it is like a great organ. We went once to the choral festival at St. Tylo's, and the organ played, and it was like that. The very air seemed to tremble and shudder and shake. It's coming closer. Shut the window, quick!
In God's name, what was it?
It is the ancient devils, let loose and come out of the trees and the old hills, because of the wickedness that is upon the earth.
She is crazed, sir, with grief and the thirst and the terror.
The chimney.
The what?
If we shouted up the chimney, it would carry the sound, wouldn't it?
Well, looks like we might get a drop of rain at last.
Listen. What's that? What? Listen, man. What in God's name is it? It's like the ghost of a voice, as if it came up from the bottom of the earth. Let's hurry.
If there was some way of catching it.
What?
The rain.
All we have to do is walk out that door.
To the well.
If the whole world could drink from that well, the whole world would turn teetotal.
Thomas, has it occurred to you that we may all be mad?
Mad?
Yes. Some sort of collective hallucination. I've heard of such things, I think. Whole families sharing the same delusion. Perhaps there's nothing out there at all waiting to kill us. One morning, we will wake up and realize that we dreamt it all. And it's over. It would be good to eat again.
There is food in the kitchen.
Yes. Bacon. Like chewing fire.
Will you shout again tonight?
If I can.
Well, it was at the top of the hill that I first heard it. How dark it was, and lonely, and this long drawn-out dismal cry coming from a long way off. A long cry it was, and then there was silence, and then it began again. Oh, I did never hear no singing in the chapel that was like it. It was like a wailing of Judgment Day. Oh, dear, I was frightened. I didn't know of what. And very glad I was to see the lights of Forth Station.
I am inclined to think that the sound must be caused by a subterranean inlet of the sea. There must be, I suppose, an imperfect or half-opened or tortuous blowhole in the Tredonick woods, and the noise of the tide surging up below might very well produce the effect of a hollow wailing far away. I have not heard it myself, of course, and nor, it seems, has anyone these last few nights. The tidal flow has altered, perhaps.
I dreamed of water last night.
Water?
Yes. Do you remember, Thomas? Wells and fountains and the sea.
I dreamed of Tiger.
That's all we do now. Dream. We dream when we're awake, and when we dream, we think we wake. We are in the dream of death. Tiger?
What?
You said
You dreamed of a tiger.
Our dog. Do you remember that we drove out because he gave us no peace at night?
Yes, I remember. He never came back. He was a good dog.
Hey, whose dog is this? Oh, that's Thomas Griffiths at Trefloyne.
Well, why didn't he go home? Go home then. Over that gate with you. That's your home down there.
Listen to the beast. As if he was begging for his life.
He wasn't in chapel this morning, Thomas Griffiths.
Well, he'll be busy then with the harvest.
So there's work for you, dog. Now be off with you. Back to your master. Go on.
It's a hard thing when you cannot walk home from chapel on a Sunday without a crazy dog running after you.
Thomas, where is your mother? She went upstairs. I heard her moving about. And then silence. Yesterday. Perhaps. Thomas, do you remember yesterday when you said you saw the stars and the sun was shining? I see them now, too, very far away, in the hollow of a vast darkness. And one by one, they put out. And I hear a voice, far away, as if it came from the altar of a great church. And I stood at the door. Here beginneth, it says, here beginneth the book of the wrath of the Lord our God. In that day, saith the Lord, there shall be a cloud over the land, and in the cloud a burning and a shape of fire. And out of the cloud shall issue forth my messengers, and they shall run all together, they shall not turn aside. This shall be a day of exceeding bitterness, without salvation. Woe unto the armed man, woe unto him that taketh pleasure in the strength of his artillery, for a little thing shall smite him. And by one that hath no might shall he be brought down into the dust. That which is low shall be set on high, and none shall be found that may abide the onset of their battle. We used to talk about the end of the world, whether it would be flood or fire, but we never thought of this.
Lewis, have you seen young Secretan lately?
No, but you know what he's like. Probably out painting the marshes every day, and too tired at night to come visiting.
No one seems to have seen Griffiths either.
Griffiths?
Trefloyne, where young Secretan's staying. He wasn't at chapel the last 2 Sundays, and he's never missed before, nor at market day, which is odd.
Very odd.
Well, Thomas Williams says a few of them have put their heads together, and no one's seen any of the Griffithses for nearly 2 weeks. And that dog of theirs has been making itself a perfect nuisance, apparently barking and whining round people's houses. Well, of course, it's harvest time, everyone's busy, they lose touch. But do you think it might be worth going out there just to see that all is well?
I suppose we had to bring the army with us.
It was Sergeant Jenkins' idea. In case, he said.
In case what?
I don't know. I don't think anyone does. I heard their captain say, don't hesitate to shoot if there's any trouble, and the corporal said, shoot what, sir? And the captain said, the trouble, nothing more.
I heard one man mention rat poison.
Rat poison?
God knows why. Listen to them.
As if they knew something was wrong.
They're in pain, man. They've not been milked for God knows how long.
Thomas Griffiths! Thomas Griffiths! Where are you, Thomas Griffiths? Thomas Griffiths!
Sergeant, there he is.
What has happened here?
He's dead. For a long time, a week, 2 weeks perhaps.
Stabbed?
To the heart.
And left lying there?
Sergeant, how many live here? I never attended them.
There was Griffiths and his wife and his son Thomas, and I think there was a gentleman lodging with them this summer.
Secretary, come. We must go into the house and see what's wrong.
Yeah, but supposing they're at us while we're getting in, where shall we be then, Doctor?
They? What they?
They that have done this.
2 weeks ago. Mrs. Grace! Secretary, open up!
Is the door locked?
Barred, I think, and bolted.
Every window tight shut.
In this heat.
Open up in there!
We'll have to break it down.
Indeed, sir, I think we will. If there's anyone inside, stand back. We're going to blow the door open. Corporal!
Well, someone's got to see us anyway.
What dog is this?
This is Griffith's own dog, Doctor. Well, I've had so many complaints about this past week.
Oh, you have your way now, boy. Someone has come to help.
Stand back inside. We're going to shoot at the hinges. Right then. Heave! Spread out your men, Corporal, and be careful.
Who's that?
Doctor,
Lying before the hearth.
that's the lad, Thomas.
And there is Secretan.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Look, it's as if they'd been besieged. Do you see that piece of bacon half gnawed through?
But no bread, no milk, no water.
And they had the best water here in all Marion.
They must have died of thirst. They must have been dead for days and days.
Oh, God help us all.
Well, we must get a cart and take these poor bodies into Porth. They found Mrs. Griffiths upstairs.
And find someone to see to those cattle. They must be...
What is it, Lewis?
Sergeant, get those men very quietly and let us go. I think we are safe. They are too weak now. But in God's name, hurry, man.
I still find it utterly incredible.
It was their stillness that reminded me. Just standing there. As if they knew something was wrong, you said. Waiting to be cared for, I thought. And then I remembered the moth.
Moth?
On that child's forehead, little Johnny Roberts. When they found him, he was so still, his mother had said, that a great moth had settled on his forehead. And he saw something shining, the other child said, just before his death. Have you ever watched a moth, Llewellyn? I did. Just a few weeks later, one evening with Merritt. Ever noticed how the light is reflected in its eyes? No bigger than a pinpoint, but imagine a great cloud of them, such as I saw, and others, as big as a tree, dark. But the eyes, the millions of eyes flickering, all the colors of the rainbow, and the sound of the wings. One moth you never hear, but millions of them, like the trembling of a great organ in the air. And then imagine that mass settling on you, flying into your mouth, up your nose. You'd be dead, man, quickly, smothered as Johnny Roberts was, and God knows how many others.
Yeah, but you'd find them, Lewis, in the body later.
Do you know how hard it is to kill a moth, even with cyanide of potassium? Take a frog, kill it, open its stomach. There's its dinner of moths and small beetles, and that dinner will shake itself and walk away.
But it isn't natural for them to mass like that and kill, surely.
No more natural than for a cow to walk up to its master and stab him to the heart with its horn.
Griffiths?
Of course it isn't natural, because it's never happened before. With wild beasts, yes, but not sheep or cows or horses. Remember those horses in the camp weeks ago? They weren't crazed with terror. They were killers. Just as they killed the Williamses the night poor Secretan arrived here.
But, Lewis, why? Why should they?
Because I think they have rebelled. Against man. Against us. Blindly, perhaps, but the instinct to obey, to serve us, has gone.
But why?
Because we have abdicated. Man has mastered this world because he has superior intellect and something else. A grace, if you like, that raises him above the beasts. We've thrown that away, Llewellyn. Look around you. Look at what is happening in France, all over Europe. Men killing each other blindly, without reason, in the most horrible ways. What is there to obey in that? What is there to serve? We are no longer Orpheus. We have made ourselves Caliban. Think of it, Llewellyn. Walking along a cliff path, and you see a flock of sheep. You know how they move away from you. Suppose they don't, and indeed, why should they? Suppose they come closer, and closer still, and they run at you, till it's either force your way through them or go over. Or you're walking through a marsh, and 40 or 50 young cattle gradually close round you and refuse to move when you shout and wave your stick, but get closer and closer instead, till they get you into the slime and lie quietly on you for 5 minutes. Remember that rowing boat that capsized before Merritt's very eyes, and the porpoises that he watched playing just before? Quite capable of overturning a rowing boat. And even in the cities. Imagine in your own drawing room your pet cat or dog turning on you. They'd go for the eyes, I suppose, at first.
But the explosions in the munitions were...
Rats. Remember that soldier on the way out to Trefloyne this afternoon mentioning rat poison? The army knows about it. But they have to keep it a secret, don't they? There'd be panic in the streets. Imagine, Llewellyn, a swarming myriad of rats rushing upon you.
There must be a solution. There must be.
Oh, the rats and moths can be killed, and are, from what Merritt told me. But the domestic animals, how? Slaughter the lot? And what do we do for food then? Or clothing? But I don't think it will be necessary. Not this time.
Why not?
You saw those cattle, in pain because they'd not been milked, and hungry. They let us pass, Llewellyn. We are dependent on each other after all. A cow or a horse or a sheep can graze quite happily in one field for a while, but then it needs a man to come along and open the gate into the next one. Of course, they could overcome that problem if they put their minds to it, but they aren't reasoning creatures like us. No, I think we're safe this time. I think so. I hope so. But you know the really terrible thing, Llewellyn? If we are, no one will ever know. Because of the censorship, because of the war. It'll be all old wives' tales in 50 years' time. Forgotten in 60. No one will ever know that it really happened. Which is very terrible indeed. Because it's happened once, Llewellyn. That's the real terror. They have risen once. They may rise again. What are you doing?
Just looking to see if your dark cloud, the moths, is still out there.
Shut it, Llewellyn. Better to keep it shut.
In The Terror by Arthur Machen, the cast was Dr. Lewis, Douglas Blackwell, Secretan, Sam Dastor, Merritt, Danny Schiller, Remnant, Manning Wilson, and Llewellyn, Sean Probert. Mrs. Roberts, Elizabeth Morgan, Thomas Griffiths, Stephen Garlick, Old Griffiths, Derek Pollitt, Mrs. Griffiths, Heather Bell, and Sergeant Jenkins, David Goodison. Mrs. Craddock, Rosalind Adams, Willie Roberts, Patience Tomlinson, and Soldier Crawford Logan. The Terror was dramatized for radio by Pat Hooker and directed by Jerry Jones.